for us to see the kind of cowardly, evil attacks that took place today, I think reinforces once again why it's so important for us to stand in solidarity with them, just as they stand in solidarity with us.
A pair of killers on the run, funerals being planned, and a nation that is coming to grips with the fact terrorism has come to their doorstep in bloody fashion. This, as some blame religion. Others blame the magazine that ran the cartoons in question. And we have already reached the stage where finger-pointing needs to stop and hard calls have to be made. Let's welcome back to MidPoint, the director and senior advisor for the Transnational Threats Project at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. To the point, someone who lived in France and understands the groundwork. Arnaud de Borchgrave joins us. Arnaud, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Arnaud, do you fear that in light of what has happened, the fact that they are still looking for these two individuals, and there's been so much talk of this being an Islamic-based religion killing, that there will be a boiling over in Paris, in France, and that there will be some sort of riot, if you will, or uprising from the people there who are perhaps even tired of, they think, having their nation taken over?
Well, we've seen many similar upheavals. People have forgotten there have been some terrible upheavals in France in this general category of mass killings. And next to Europe's capital cities, beginning with Paris, with Charlie Hebdo magazine, are other capitals like Italy's Rome and Spain's Madrid, where laws prevail against no-holds-barred attacks on religion. So the murder of 12 in Paris, while obviously appalling, bloodletting that we haven't seen for some time, is not unique. It has happened before, and it'll happen again. It seems to me the right to offend in this case comes from the anarchists of the far left, way left of the Communist Party. And there is no limit to extremism in their philosophy's bottom line, which of course triggers a wide variety of hot-button issues, especially religious. And to push the envelope from one form of extremism to the next is obviously their whole modus vivendi. This is how they survive, and they go from one form of extremism to the next.
Is this the sort of flashpoint that could cause that extremism, could cause that backlash at people of Islamic faith in Paris and in France?
Well, obviously there'll be a backlash, but you know, these things are unfortunately short-lived. We've seen them happen in London. We've seen far more killings in London than we have in Paris. But people have forgotten that the famous bus incident in London. You had dozens of people killed. Here we have 12 people killed in Paris. Appalling though it is not unique in the history of such events in the past 2 or 3 decades in Western Europe.
What effect do you think it will have when an article comes out in USA Today from Anjem Choudhury? He is the Muslim cleric who is not afraid to basically call for the downfall of anything that is not Islamic related. He wrote a piece called "People Know the Consequences," and basically has said flat out that if you indeed insult our faith,
Absolutely not. I go back, unfortunately, I go all the way back to the Algerian War, and we had incidents all over France, killings all over France. And that went on almost for a whole decade, the Algerian War. So, again, we have to keep everything in perspective. France has been through this before, and obviously we'll go through it again.
Okay, please stand by just a few moments, Arnaud. Break and we're back. We'll focus in on more changes in Parisian and European society that have been bubbling for years, including this idea of stopping the media from doing their job. The Islamization charge, those who seek to capitalize on it or prevent it from getting any worse. It's all coming up on MidPoint.